Hi, this is Milan Jokic from MMD Construction. So now that we have the PDA signed, it's time for our team to start working with the designers, doing our site visits, and starting the planning process to have a successful build. How we accomplish this is by starting to work with the architects and designers, open up walls and ceilings, create a scope of work for subcontractors to bid correctly, go through the plans and create a custom owner's responsibility sheet, create custom files in our in-house programs, send out to bid to multiple subcontractors, design a realistic time frame and budget, and then we can write up a proposal to get ready to build your project. So when it comes to working with architects and designers, it's really important to have your contractor involved from the very beginning, sometimes even before them. And the reason being is when it comes to an owner and architects, the owner will tell the architect, hey, I want a 4,000 square foot house. I want to design it this way. I want this, this, and this, and the architect says no problem. He can design it, and he can engineer it, to his design. So the problem with this is once the owner takes those set of plans, once they're designed, and sends it out to all these different contractors to bid the project, they wind up getting numbers that are way higher than they originally thought, and then it has to go back to the architect to get redesigned down to the budget that they really have. If you have a contractor involved in the beginning, they can really control a lot of the process to help still get what you want in the finished product in the time frame and the budget that you want it to get done in. It's a lot more helpful to have everyone on a team together to really have a successful project. It really makes it fun. It's very innovative. It's better than just one mind working on something. So if you have an owner, a contractor, an architect, and a designer all on the same page straight from the beginning, you can really have a successful project. So now that you have us on board with the PDA and everything, and we're going through your project and we need to open up the walls and ceilings, what this allows us to do is once we get in there and we start opening up the walls and ceilings, we can see what's inside there. Instead of just having an architect design the plans, have everyone bid on it without anything opened up, then you're going to get a bunch of change orders if you decide to do it that way. With us being involved in the project in the beginning, we go through, open up all the different walls, the ceilings, the areas where we think we're going to be moving walls and redoing stuff inside your house, so we can see exactly what's in there. Sometimes there'll be electrical lines, sometimes there'll be plumbing lines. There's all kinds of crazy stuff that you can find in there. And if it's a structural wall, that could really cause a big problem to design in the plans that you need to design or the look that you're looking to do. Because if it comes time, like on a job that we didn't open up any of the walls, we didn't have the job signed. They decided to move a structural wall that they didn't know was there because drywall was on it. And once we opened up the walls, we found plywood and structural shear throughout the whole wall. And during that process, if we were brought in the beginning, we would have found all that. But since they didn't and they had us bid on the job, then we had to either issue a really big change order because all the plumbing and electrical and all the shear was for that house in that one wall. We weren't able to move it. So the owners did not get the design they wanted because they didn't have the budget for it. But if they did have us there in the beginning, so we could have caught that, we could have taken away from something else on the project to be able to give them what they truly wanted to do, which was a huge open concept inside their house. Once we were able to go through and see all this stuff, then MMD's team is able to relay back to the architects and designers what we have going on there so we can cut back on certain finishes or either other designs in the house and really figure out what's important to the owner. Once I have this opened, I can create that scope of work so I can give it to the architects and designers, also give it to all the subcontractors, have them walk the job properly so we can dramatically reduce the amount of change orders that you're going to get. This is very important to do in the beginning because if we wind up just bidding your job, we're going to give you what's on the plans and not what's inside the walls and whatever else we find. But if we get this figured out in the beginning, we can really realistically give you a real budget and a timeline on what it's going to cost to build your project. So it's super critical to have us involved in the beginning. So once we're on the job, after we're done doing the scopes of work, then we can create the owner's responsibility sheet. How we do this is we go through the plans, we look at every single room that we have in the plans. We detail out what's in every single room. So for example, on a bathroom, we'll do the faucets, the sinks, the cabinets, the style of cabinets, the tile that we're going to be using, niches if they're in the bathroom, toilets, etc. There's a ton of different stuff that we have to have picked out for the project. So what we'll do is we'll create owner's responsibility sheets that we give to the owner after we're done going through the whole project to see all the custom stuff that's involved in it. We'll create that owner's responsibility sheet and give that to you so that you can pick out all your finishes so that we have that before it's time to build. And if you do have that, we know exactly when we need to order the material, put it on our time schedule, when it needs to be picked out, when it needs to be delivered to the job, so we can keep your project on time. So our next step is sending out to bid to multiple subcontractors. What we're able to do with our earlier process of opening up your walls and ceilings and having them walk the job is that we're able to create that nice scope of work that's very detailed, send it out to all the different subs so that they know exactly what they're bidding on. Because you have about 50 different trades that are coming through your house that's going to be doing a lot of different things. So if we can have, the more detail we can have for them, the less change orders they have in the field. And the way we're able to eliminate a good majority of the change orders is by doing our research in the beginning of the project. And that comes to opening up the walls and ceilings and doing a lot of research before we start the project. So once we're done with all this stuff, then we're able to put together a proper timeline and a proper budget on what it's going to cost to deliver you a successful project. As you can see on our owner's responsibility sheet, we have highlighted in purple certain specific items that need to get picked out, and we have that on our schedule on a specific date where it needs to get picked out. These types of issues are able to keep us on time and on schedule. Now that we have developed your project, we can write up a proper proposal and a contract so we can get started on your remodel. For more information, visit our company website at MMD GCC and stay tuned for more videos out on the field by subscribing to our YouTube channel. Thank you and have an amazing day.